Welcome back to Reforestation Nation, ladies and gents. We are in my hometown, Mahwah, New Jersey, with someone who I have immense respect for, and someone who has done some impressive things in the world of sustainability, Eric Fuchs-Stengel. Eric, thanks for your time.
What's going on, Alex? Thanks for coming today, man.
Great to see
Appreciate
you
it.
Can you explain what exactly MEVO is and highlight, in a nutshell, your amazing career and promising future?
Well, I'm the executive director here at MEVO, otherwise known as the Mahwah Environmental Volunteers Organization. We're standing in the Fresh Roots Farm, which is our organic farm here in Mahwah, New Jersey. We started this organization with a group of my best friends and I, junior year of high school. Since then, it's grown dramatically. I did not know I'd be doing this 12 years later, but we've had a massive impact on our community, on our friends, on our families. We've won a couple awards for our work. One was the National Jefferson Award for Public Service, which is considered the Nobel Prize of Public Service, which basically means we do amazing, high-impact community service work in the United States. We won the Jacqueline Kennedy Award, which is for local organizations that have a national impact, and that was largely for the work we're doing here at this farm. We're going to take a walk around the farm today, show you some of the sustainability projects we're doing.
Where are we going first?
We're going to take a walk down, and we're probably going to see the bees, see the veggies, and just take a look at what we're growing. All right, let's do it. So we're here at our honeybee apiary here at MEVO. We have 12 beehives around us here, and probably well over 500,000 bees. Most of the beehives are female. Probably have around 40,000 to 50,000 bees in each of these colonies here.
So Eric, you have a lot of productive bees flying around, all these really productive gals. What do we need to know about honeybees that most people don't know?
What you should know is that honeybees are an important partner to our food system. In fact, 1/3 of the food we eat, every third bite you put in your mouth, we can contribute to a honeybee's pollination. Things like apples, blueberries, almonds are all important crops that we need honeybees to pollinate. So here on our farm, certain crops actually increase production by about 20% just by having honeybees here. But most importantly, humans have a deep connection to bees. We've been beekeeping for over 10,000 years, and that connection is one that's deeply rooted in our survival and their survival. So as much as it may seem foreign, these insects are very close to us. So let's take a look inside the hive. I'll let you see what the bees look like in there. We use a bee smoker to calm the bees down. In fact, without a bee smoker, it'll be very hard to enter a beehive. When the smoke is inside the bee colony, it's gonna disrupt their communication systems, which are mostly done through smell. And by doing that, it's gonna allow us as beekeepers to get in there, harvest the honey, check on the beehives, and not agitate them when we're inside. So I'm gonna come over here with the smoker now, and I'm gonna add some smoke into the bee colony. So I'm gonna come up here in the front, and I'm actually gonna add some smoke right here into the entrance of the beehive, so that the bees start to have that smoke percolate up through the bee colony. When we put smoke into a bee colony, that's gonna calm the bees, but mostly through distraction, because we're distracting them from what's happening, and we're actually telling them that the hive is on fire, you know, oh my God, get out of the hive quickly. And when they're distracted, gorging on honey, thinking their hive is on fire, that's a time when we can go in there and inspect the hive. So I'm opening up the hive. I just took off the outer cover. Now what you're being greeted by is called the guard bees. They live here they kind of hang out here on the top of the bee colony. And I'm gonna take my tool and I'm just gonna pry up what we call the inner cover.
Now, are the guard bees also female?
Yep. In fact, in a hive of this size, you're looking at a hive, this is probably, you know, maybe let's say 30,000 bees in here. That means we're looking at about 27,000 female worker bees.
What do the males do?
The males, they mate with queens, virgin queens from other bee colonies, and they also transfer messages and communicate between the different beehives. So here we are pulling out a frame. So we're gonna take a look and see what's going on. I think we're gonna see a lot of honey probably on these frames, but there's only one way to find out. You gotta actually pull them out. So what you're gonna see here, if you look in there real closely, you're gonna see a lot of shining in there, and that shine is actually plant nectar. And as you probably know, plant nectar is the beginning of honey. Bees collect plant nectar, drink up the nectar, and regurgitate it repeatedly to remove moisture and add enzymes to process it into honey. That's why honey is so beneficial. The enzymes the bees are regurgitating into that nectar as they process it, that's what's good for our bellies. That's why if you buy honey from the supermarket that's been superheated or pasteurized or cut with corn syrup, you lose all those benefits. And also why if you want to eat honey to be beneficial for your human body, you don't want to eat it in like a hot cup of tea. You want to eat it raw first thing in the morning before you eat anything else, digest it for about 15, 20 minutes, then, you know, drink your cup of tea with honey in it.
Can you summarize the way that the bees live, the breakdown of the hive, and the importance of this honey to humanity and other creatures?
Of course. The bees live in a very complex way that we can't really understand yet. We try to understand it. We're doing a lot of research to learn more about the beehive, but bees have a lot of mystery to them because they do so much for the environment. They pollinate all of our flowers, our shrubs, our trees, our food, and most importantly, they provide us with not only pollination, but honey, which is a beneficial medicine for the human body. So they've been here with us all along. Currently, they're at risk of dying off. If we lose bees, we lose our food. And the most important thing to remember is that we need to keep these pollinators healthy. And if they've existed for over 10,000 years with humans, there's no reason they couldn't continue that. We're actually gonna head off to the next side of the farm and we're gonna show you guys some of the plants we're growing and let you see some of the other really productive areas of the farm space. So step on in here, I'll show you the greenhouse and you can see some of the stuff we're growing.
Whew, it's hot in here.
What we're curing in here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we're here at the MEVO Fresh Roots Farm greenhouse. We start our season here in March, shovel our way through the snow, get in here, and we start planting out our crops for the year. So from seed to soil, we're planting things like dill, kale, lettuce, tomatoes, peppers, eggplants. Almost every crop we grow here on the farm will start here in this greenhouse.
By seed?
By seed. We don't buy transplants here. We buy our seed and we grow it ourselves, which is always surprising to a lot of people because most people go to a garden center and buy transplants, but we grow them ourselves from seed.
Amazing.
Yeah, so this is a very important spot. In fact, without this, we really couldn't farm here in New Jersey. All right, Alex, so in here, we're gonna take a quick look at our tomato plants. We have
into the tomato forest.
This is the tomato forest. We have about 700 linear feet of tomato plants growing here. And they're all different varieties, about 12 different varieties of tomatoes. You see how green and lush these plants are. Most farmers do not grow these crops out in the field. They're usually gonna grow them in a greenhouse.
Right.
But here at MEVO, we like to let our tomatoes get sun directly on their leaves.
Amen, amen.
Not through the plastic of a greenhouse, but out here in the farm.
Biomimicry.
And we're enjoying it. We like growing them outside.
This smell is intoxicating.
Yeah, it's an amazing smell. That the pheromone, you're smelling the pheromone of the tomato plant, and that actually helps with the whole life cycle of the plant, that smell. Part of what we do here at MEVO is engage people like myself and other young people in learning how to grow crops like this, learning how to grow tomato plants that are 8 feet tall. And that is what we do here. That's what we do, right? It's about empowering and giving skills so that young people can have productive farm-based enterprises. Young people can get skills in terms of how to farm, how to heal their community, and how to connect people to the earth more. And the fact is, this tomato plant's 8 feet tall, and most of the work that's been done on this plant, from seed to what's going to be fruit next week, was done mostly by young people, by volunteers, by college students, by interns, by people who are fairly inexperienced. And just look at what we created here.
You've created something in a little more than a decade. You started picking up trash in the woods with your friends.
Yep.
And now you have 5 full paid employees.
Yeah.
You're giving back, you're making money, you're sustainable, and you're doing what you love. Not a lot of people do what they love and truly have a passion for it. You get up early, you go to bed late, but you love this. What would you say to people who really want to pursue something that might seem completely out of the ordinary or extraordinary? Or what about the people who have given up? Who tried to start something and the garden failed or the career didn't work out. I mean, I think about thriving with nature, think about how can we thrive with each other and how can we self-actualize. You are one of the few people I know who I really think is on the road to self-actualization. What advice can you give us?
Yeah, I think the important thing to know, and I'm gonna say this to the people who are watching this video and learning, important thing to remember is that the journey for sustainability and for change in our society is not linear. It's a long, windy path. You start at point A and you wind up at point Z by the time you actually create what you want to create. Failure is part of that journey, and it's the people that push through failure and continue to try hard and figure out where they're gonna make this thing work that'll be successful. And that's what we've had happen here. We've had 12 years of trials and tribulations, but now we're standing in a lush, productive farm, and that's thanks to lots of people's effort, energy, and not giving up when we failed.
Reforestation Nation, ladies and gents. See you next
Alex.
time. Thanks for watching Reforestation Nation, where we interview impact leaders about how we can scientifically thrive with nature. And as always, subscribe to stay alive by clicking here and watch more content with us right here.
Please click and subscribe.
This is Martin from 7th Generation. If there's any green guru, it's him. If he's doing it, I would do it too.
Click and subscribe.
To stay alive.
You think they're really going to do that?
I hope so.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right, Martin. Thank you, sir.
Pleasure, Alex.